Gaffer checks back in. Oh, the king! He cocks it back and hammers it home with the left hand. LeBron James is 41 years old, folks. Let that sink in. He is defying gravity like he discovered the fountain of youth chugging a sports drink. While most guys his age are throwing out their backs just getting out of bed, he is catching bodies and putting Wizards players on posters. It begs the question, is this freakish genetics or do we need to thank modern chemistry? Before we dive into the secret sauce, drop a comment. Is LeBron the undisputed GOAT or the most expensive science experiment in sports history? Make sure to subscribe for more deep dives. Listen to this crowd. The arena is absolutely electric. But let's keep it 100 for a minute. We all witnessed that drive against Washington. LeBron comes thundering down the paint, 41 years of wear and tear, yet he extends that left arm and throws down a slam so vicious the stanchion is still shaking. Now, do the math with me. The average pro hangs up their sneakers around 33. By 35, legends look like they are jogging in quicksand. Look at Kobe, Shaq, Dirk. Near the end, they were moving like they had concrete blocks in their shoes. Meanwhile, LeBron is at the age where he should be pivoting to a wine podcast and a cushy retirement. Instead, he is logging 35 minutes a night and sprinting in transition. It is almost as if he paused the aging process. Or maybe his portfolio is paying to pause it for him. There is a theory that if the public truly grasped LeBron's regimen, like other hoopers hear about it and dismiss it, saying, yeah, well, hitting a ball with a stick, it doesn't matter, right? Skill is skill. But that is missing the point. It is like, no, hold on. If you understood the boost these enhancements provide, you'd get why it matters. Look, there is only one. We share the same supplier. I know exactly what the protocol is. Think about golf. There is really only one golfer. I won't name names, but there is only one icon who follows the Big 3 protocol. And the Big 3 is EPO, growth hormone, and testosterone. That is the Lance Armstrong cocktail. One golfer does it, and it's Tiger Woods. So yes, it makes a difference. People claim it doesn't help with skill, like John Daly won on Diet Coke and cigarettes. But stamina matters. Recovery matters. EPO is a game changer. That is why the rumors swirl around LeBron. If basketball fans really dug into the science, EPO boosts your red blood cell count, which skyrockets your endurance so you can sprint all game. You can shoot with fresh legs in the fourth quarter because your blood is supercharged. Got it? It is the holy grail of recovery. Now, you have probably heard the PR-sanctioned narrative. Maverick Carter and LeBron's camp love to remind us that he invests $1.5 million annually on his physique. That is a nice, clean figure. It conjures images of farm-to-table meals, freezing cryo chambers, and a high-priced trainer screaming for one more set. They want us to buy that. If we all just had a spare million and a hyperbaric chamber, we would also be throwing down windmills at 40, right? And I bet that chamber is filled with nothing but pure oxygen and good vibes. Definitely no special cocktails being mixed up in the back of that custom Mercedes van he treats as a mobile lab. I need to ask the viewers, drop a like if you're enjoying this breakdown. What would this do to LeBron's legacy? If the whispers are true, if he is on that new age juice, I need to know. The way the topic slipped out in conversation. He tried to walk it back. Control-Alt-Delete that thought. Slipped what? Hey, relax, family. Man. Control-Alt-Delete. That was almost as awkward as Darvin Ham's slip up in the huddle. Yeah, that was wild. My bad on the phrasing. That was definitely a moment. But look at the reaction or lack thereof. The way KG said it and how Paul Pierce took it. It was like an open secret. He didn't gasp and say, whoa, accusations. It was just accepted. No shock value at all. Now, let's address the rumors that have shadowed the king for a decade. Remember the biogenesis scandal back in 2013? That mess took down A-Rod and a slice of the MLB. Well, fast forward to some leaked federal docs that bubbled up. Guess whose name was in the mix? Not LeBron directly, he is too calculated for that. But his inner circle, specifically his right-hand man, Ernest Randy Mims. Now, I am not saying that having your best bud linked to a clinic for performance enhancers means you are using, but it is like finding out your roommate is a Michelin star chef. While you are mysteriously bulking up and eating gourmet dinners every night, it is a coincidence that smells heavily of testosterone. And then you have Chael Sonnen. The guy is a professional pot stirrer, but he knows the industry. Imagine a world where street code meets sports headlines. Ever heard the term dry snitching? It is a very specific piece of street lingo that you need to understand to get this story. You all know what a rat is, right? A rat is a guy who gets caught in a tight spot, and to save his own skin, he trades secrets on someone higher up the food chain. He takes the plea deal, spills the beans, and gets a lighter sentence. That is standard survival. But a dry snitch? That is when you aren't in trouble. There is no pressure, yet you still serve someone up on a silver platter just for the fun of it. Oops, did I just expose him? Yes, you did. This brings us to a massive bombshell dropped a few months back. Chael Sonnen hopped on Andrew Schulz's podcast, and the topic turned to the king, LeBron James, and performance enhancers. Sonnen didn't just hint at it. He went on air and flat out claimed that he and LeBron buy from the exact same dealer. He specifically name-dropped EPO, that rocket fuel cyclists use to ride forever without getting tired. So, I am listening to Sonnen tell Schultz, yeah, man, he is on the gear. We got the same guy. Sonnen basically insinuated that LeBron is only clean in the way a polished sports car is clean. Sure, it shines, but that is because of a whole lot of synthetic chemicals maintaining that finish. His argument? You simply cannot hold that much muscle mass and run that hard at his age without a little pharmaceutical assistance. And honestly, before we go further, if you enjoy deep dives like this, hit that like button. Watching LeBron chase down blocks in the fourth quarter after playing 40 minutes? It is tough to believe that is just the result of drinking plenty of water. Now look, I do not think there is anything he can do to actually tarnish his legacy right now. To be brutally honest, unless he fails a drug test on live television, he is bulletproof, 100%. Let's rewind to the Miami Heat era. That is when the LeBron is a cyborg narrative really exploded. The man looked like a Greek statue brought to life. He didn't just have definition, he had muscles growing on top of his muscles. And the stamina, he would play every single minute, dominate the season, and then go crush the Olympics. It is a recovery rate that makes a comic book superhero look lazy. If you are enjoying this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Compare the tape from back then to now. He has barely lost a step. Maybe his vertical is down an inch, but the horsepower remains. At 41 years old, biology says your testosterone should be nosediving. You should be shedding muscle. A light jog should leave you sore for 3 days. LeBron is flipping the script. He is basically a 250-pound science project playing point guard. We also have to talk about the mysterious German doctor theory. Have you noticed? LeBron tweaks an ankle, an injury that usually takes 6 weeks to heal, and he vanishes for 10 days, only to return looking more explosive than before. I went to see a specialist, he claims, right? A specialist residing in a country known for having medical regulations that are, shall we say, highly imaginative. It is the same playbook Kobe used for his knees. They call it regenokine or platelet-rich plasma on the brochure. But when you are the most valuable athlete on earth, who knows what is actually in the syringe? And we have to address the $1.5 million body headline. It is the ultimate shield. It is the perfect way to justify supernatural recovery times. You think it is strange I heal like a teenager? Hey, I spend $1.5 million. It is brilliant marketing. It spins a potential PED scandal into a legendary story about work ethic. It makes every other NBA player look cheap and lazy for only spending a few $100,000 on their health. But let's be real, if it was just about money and cold tubs, why isn't the whole league doing it? Why isn't Steph Curry suddenly walking around at 230 pounds of solid steel? Why isn't Kevin Durant jumping over mascots at 37? Because even with the best chefs and massages, Father Time is undefeated. Unless, of course, your chemist is better than nature. LeBron James's physical evolution is something that belongs in a medical textbook or perhaps a DEA file. Look at his rookie year in Cleveland. Lean, bouncy, quick, then he press. Moves to Miami and suddenly looks like he is auditioning to play the Hulk. His jawline widened, his shoulders turned into boulders, and his endurance hit levels that defy physics for a human. Hauling that much mass. This isn't just filling out. This is a radical physiological overhaul. Typically, when players bulk up that much, they get heavy-footed, they slow down. LeBron got faster. He became a freight train that could pirouette. Let's look at the bigger picture of the anti-aging industry. We are in an age where tech moguls like Brian Johnson spend millions swapping blood to stay young. Do we really believe the most competitive man in history isn't exploring every single gray area that modern medicine has to offer? LeBron wants to be the greatest ever. He wants the records. He wants to play forever. If you want to keep up with the truth behind the sports world, don't forget to subscribe. LeBron is chasing immortality, and he will do whatever it takes to get it. If there is a cutting-edge peptide, a rare hormone, or a designer compound that has not made the banned list yet, you can bet your entire savings that it is blended into his breakfast shake. The league's position on this, that is the real comedy here. The NBA is an enterprise. LeBron James represents the brand equity. If the primary asset of your corporation gets flagged for performance enhancers, the market value takes a nosedive. So, the solution is simple. Implement a screening protocol that functions more like an intelligence check. If you are clever enough to employ the best medical team, you pass every time. It is a mutually beneficial arrangement. The king remains immortal, and the association keeps moving merchandise and securing massive broadcast deals. The only losers are the terrified rookies tasked with defending a 41-year-old machine who moves like it is still 2005. But let's talk recovery, because that is the smoking gun. Look at the footage from the Wizards matchup. He is operating at maximum output. After an explosive play like that, any typical athlete that age creates a crater on the bench with ice packs. LeBron just jogs to defense, grinning, ready to run, put it back 5 minutes later. Before we dive deeper, smash that like button if you think something is fishy. The mileage on his legs is astronomical. He has logged more active time on his frame than virtually anyone in the sport's history. Yet, the catastrophic breakdowns, the torn Achilles, the exploded knees are nowhere to be found. Avoiding that kind of wear and tear is either divine intervention or the product of next-level cellular regeneration tech. Remember the whole strive for greatness marketing push? Brilliant PR. It spins. Every athletic feat as a triumph of will. If he dominates at 41, they say it is heart. If he heals overnight, they credit his nap schedule. That story completely bypasses biological limits. No amount of ambition stops muscle fibers from rotting. 8 hours of sleep does not halt the loss of explosiveness. Unless, of course, your definition of mentality involves doing absolutely anything, regulated or not to, stay on the throne. Even his interviews sound rehearsed. He preaches discipline as the magic bullet. Sure, he uploads clips hitting the weights at 5 in the morning, but thousands of guys grind that hard and still wash. Out by 32. Hard work isn't the variable, resources are. The man has access to a kingdom of performance enhancement that most players do not even know exists. He is essentially the prototype tester for the future of human evolution. Let's examine the slip-ups. Remember the clip his wife Savannah shared, where fans spotted strange blemishes on his abdomen? The web exploded with injection theories. Naturally, the $1.5 million crisis management squad jumped in, blaming cupping therapy or routine medical work. It is always a deflection. It is never the simple answer. It is like catching someone with white dust on their nose who claims it is just powdered sugar. Eventually, you have to ignore the donut and question the dust. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we peel back more layers. Then you have the Jordan comparison. MJ retired, returned, left again, and came back. When he suited up for Washington at 40, he was skilled, sure, but physically diminished. He was not skying for dunks. He relied on savvy footwork and mid-range jumpers. He played an old man's game. LeBron is still trying to hurdle defenders. He is playing a young man's game in a senior citizen's frame. If the GOAT could not defy gravity at 40, how is the king adding inches to his vertical? The visuals just do not add up. The mental toll must be crushing. Living under that microscope 24/7. 2. Maintain the illusion of natural miracles while potentially running a mobile pharmacy requires God-tier discipline that is practically a superpower itself. If he is enhancing, he is the most controlled user ever. He avoids the emotional outbursts. He never gets sloppy. He stays poised, professional, and dominant. But consider the fallout. He is creating a fantasy standard. Kids watch him and believe grit alone lets you ball until 45. They do not understand they are battling a billion-dollar biohacking system. They are bringing pocket knives to a war zone where the enemy has heavy artillery loaded with synthetic boosters. It is a warped reality we accept because, let's face it, the show is entertaining. But what is the endgame? Does he suddenly shrink? Will we see a post-retirement version who drops 20 pounds instantly and can't touch the net? That is usually the giveaway. Look at any suspected athlete 2 years out of the testing pool. They morph into different people, the muscle vanishes, the explosion dies, they finally look their age. If LeBron hangs it up and suddenly looks like a standard 45-year-old dad, case closed. Until then, we get to enjoy the Wizards beatdowns. We watch the father-son saga unfold like a Hollywood script. We watch Bronny chase the shadow of a guy who might be more cyborg than biological organism by now. What a time to be alive. Calling all basketball fanatics, especially if you do not mind a little bit of scientific help in your athletics. The most insane part of this narrative is the Bronny angle, where LeBron is literally teaming up with his own kid. He has outlasted a whole generation playing against dads back in the day and now schooling their sons. The man is basically a vampire, fueling his longevity with whatever secret potion is in those green bottles. Thinking LeBron is just a natural anomaly is like believing reality television is actually real life. But hey, as long as he is still flying high, who are we to question the method? If you are enjoying the scoop, do not forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more secrets from the court.